Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of our podcast. My name is Ashesh Basnet. I'm a Ph.D. student at Tennessee State University, currently working on food safety and public health microbiology. And with me I have two other people.
Hi everyone, I'm Sudeep. I'm currently a PhD student at Tennessee State University. I'm working on plant science and precision agriculture.
Hi everyone, I'm Manoj Burlakoti, first year Ph.D. student at the Department of Agricultural Sciences and Engineering. Currently, I'm working on the research of the UAV based tree inventory update.
So today in this podcast we are going to talk about AI and robotics in agricultural by 2050. So the world population is expected to be around 9.7 billion by 2050.
Right now, it's like 750 million people undernourished. So that's really bad, isn't it?
Mhm.
So the food demand is also going to be increased by around 50 to 70% by the 2050.
So by 2050, to feed almost 10 billion people, we'll need to increase the food production by almost 70 percentage. But there are already several challenges we are facing for the food production.
The main is like the climate that's happening right now, the difference in weather pattern, the unpredictability in the weather pattern. It's like you don't know when it's gonna rain, or the summer are harsh, the winter they are also
Pretty cold.
Pretty cold.
Yeah.
2050. So since the urban population increase, there will be the uh, scarcity of the land for the food production. I think that would be the major concern going forward in 2050.
What about the water? For the production, you definitely need water, enough water, and right now with the current rate of depletion of water resources, that's going to be another
Yeah, we're
problem,
going
isn't it?
to face a lot of issues with the resources, and there's inflation as well. So the prices for labor, prices for any agricultural tools, materials, whatever, and then the seeds, fertilizers, these things is going to be pretty high by then.
Yeah, another I think challenge will be like the workforce. You know, the young people, they are likely to migrate to the urban areas, and only the old ones, they are going to reside in the rural areas. And rural areas are the one of the prime area where the food production occurs currently. So it will be the challenge to like include the youth in the agriculture, because if the only the old population is involved with, then the food production will be the major issue. The workforce is gonna be the major issue in the future.
And even the farmers like who are engaged in farming over here in US, their average age is like above 50. That's definitely
Yeah, I
tells
think it's
something,
62. Yeah.
62 something.
Yeah, so by 2050, if we really want to meet the demand, food production demand for the people living by then, we'll definitely need to integrate AI for the agricultural as well, right?
So the AI, do you know the history of the AI in the agriculture, like from when the AI started integrated in the agriculture
It's been in talk like for over a couple of decades now.
Mm-hmm.
already?
Yeah.
Yeah, AI has been in talk since like what 1990s or so, but I did a research. I found robotics, especially not AI but robotics. It was first used in Japan in 1980 to spray the pesticides in the field. Probably it didn't had as much accuracy as the robots right now with the artificial intelligence, but that was the first one.
With the resource available right now, that thing definitely has.
So since 1980s, when the first chemical spray was introduced in the Japan, there has been like advancement in the AI. There's the robotics, use of the robotics in the agriculture field has like increased rapidly in some of the countries, and also the research are now focused on the robotics and AI in the agriculture coming to this age, like for the food production, for the agriculture the stuffs. There has been the use of AI and robotics recently in these years.
And AI is like everywhere, like in every field, be it health, be it uh, all sorts of blooming phases right now. Like
Yeah, if we just look into the AI 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and if we look at it now, the video generators, image generators, the AI has been pretty much booming, right?
Yeah, it's been contributing significantly in the, especially in the soil health things. You know, the predicting the yeah, in different areas for the production. You know, what are the for about pointing out the different diseases in the field. So it's been doing a really good job nowadays.
Yeah, so because especially Sudeep, because you have been working on the field right now with your plant science background? What kind of advancements are you seeing in your field, especially with AI and robotics?
Right now, the every research that's being done right now is not just the traditional research that's been going on. Like uh, most of the agronomy research right now, they are integrating precision agriculture in it. And whenever we talk about precision agriculture, AI, the remote sensing, and every all those stuff are over there.
Yeah, now we already know farmers they can use drones to
Mhm.
scout on their fields. So before in the past, traditional farmers they used to hire scouters to just go into their field and look into the plants if they have diseased plants or any issues with weeds and stuff. Now drones can do it, right?
Yeah, it's more of the labor intensive thing and time consuming thing, since the farmers have to go to the field, identify the plants, whether it's uh, whether there are diseases or not, and they have to call up the expert to the field, and for the result to find out it takes the several times. But what this is recent UAVs which are being used, the hyperspectral imagery, like this to the mentions, that can point out these things like the disease things, the water stress, plant stress type of the things in the image, and we can apply the things, we can apply the sprayer or something instantly. So there is the reduction in the time, and there is reduction in the labor, and we can do the work efficiently and in a more uh, timely manner.
Also, I think if like traditionally you had to wait until the plant shows the symptoms for the diseases, but now if you have those drones flying over your field and it can map out, give you a map of where these infected plants are, so you don't have to. They can do the early disease detection, right? Just with the imaging and stuff. So you don't have to wait until the plant to show the full symptoms. And if you can apply your pesticides or herbicides, whatever you need by then, you probably can save resources too. And then those plants can be saved. It can also save your production also.
Not only with the disease, like you may need to have like fertilizers in your field,
Mhm.
and the field is like variable. Like, but when you have those data, like when you have those field maps from the drones and stuff, you can exactly pinpoint the places like where needs more fertilizers, which one need less fertilizer. That's a really good thing, like saving the money and stuff.
Same with the water too.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
because
and I think it will also help us in the harvesting process. Same thing talking about the labor and the money, since we have the like the different robotics in the use nowadays in the different field, different large field. So it will save us the time for the time and also the labor things. And so if we can integrate the robotics for the harvesting process, it will be much quicker, and it will cost the less amount of the money and with the less resources.
yeah, but these things are still in the development phase, right? It's not
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
they are not strictly in the use in the farms right now. So I think by 2050 we'll have so many data sets, we'll have so many access to so many information. I think by 2050, do you guys think there will be full automation in the fields?
I think there will be some of the developments, but there are some challenges that the AI and the robotics things come up with, especially let's think about the farmers, farmers, they are not those kind of the rich people, the main thing is, can they afford the AI and the robotics in the near future? Do they have that amount of the money, or the country is trying to spend on that? Does this government come with certain policy, to have more the AI and robotics in the agriculture and to support the farmers? I think that will be the biggest challenge, for the farmers to use the AI and robotics things in the future. What do you think, Sudeep?
Yeah, that's kind of thing to be concerned about. Like, and to add to that, like currently, like with IoT and stuff, like Internet of Things, like they say, all those modern sensors that provide you continuous data, and that can be used by AI definitely to create different models and stuffs, and all with all those good data, I see a good prospect. And the economic part, they're like something that need to be worried about, and we have to look into that one too.
Yeah, so will all the farmers be willing to integrate AI in their agricultural farming or not? I think right now, maybe no, because of the upfront cost and stuff. But because the farmer's age is the average age, like we discussed before, is 62, right? But I think if we can integrate AI in farming, it will attract a lot of young people in agriculture as well.
Right now we're saying like they may not be able to do it, like, but in 25 years, let's say, let's hope the things don't get that worse. But if the environment is too bad and stuff, if you don't have any other options to for more production and stuff, there's no way that you can avoid using AI then.
Yeah, and this current era, the most of the research that has been like in the agriculture field, they are also related to the AI and the robotics things. Since there are multiple publication being produced, especially which relate to the AI and the robotics, so it will certainly create some of the impact to the farmers. They will get certain informations about this once they are aware of the things like in the long term the integration of the AI and robotics in their field will help them, then they are surely going to adapt to that, but it will take some time, and I think there should be some effort of the government as well.
I,
Like we're talking right now, whatever the stuff that's going on with AI, it's mostly happening in like developed countries. So what do you think, like what happens to the people, like on people in underdeveloping countries or like developing countries? Will they be able to use AI as efficiently like the people over here?
I don't think by 2050 people in developing or underdeveloped countries will have access to all these technologies or AI and robotics to use in the field, but it's going to take a long time compared to the developed countries, right? So I think even in developed countries with AI and robotics, the gap between the small scale, middle scale, and the commercial level big farmers is going to be even broad.
Yeah, to add up with that, I'm from the developing countries. The challenge that I think will be in the US and other developing countries will be huge. In the developing countries, even now people don't know much about the AI things. And they are the traditional farmers. They don't have the money. Even they large scale farmers, they don't know anything about the AI and the robotics in developing country. It will be the huge challenge to add up these things in certain that part of the countries. But even the major challenge here in the US will be how we convince them. How can we convince them? So here comes the extension things that needs to play the vital role in integrating the AI and robotics in the agriculture, even in the developed countries.
While convincing the people, like let's imagine the farmer over here, like, because all the farmers, they don't have like big farms and stuff, like they don't have that economy, like some farms are like small, and will the small farms be able to invest that much into AI for the farmings in the future?
Yeah, and also I think, what do you think about the trust issue of the traditional farmers? Do they
Yeah.
really trust the modern innovations?
No.
I don't think in the developing countries they will never trust, and they are nowhere going to shift from the traditional method to the modern this AI and robotics things in the developing countries. They only trust the traditional methods. It will be the huge of the work over there in the developing countries to adapt the AI and the robotics things even by 2050.
Not only for the farmers, like even for the researchers, the AI thing, they call it like the black box things in
Mhm.
AI. Like they know, everybody knows, like the researchers who are doing it, like they know the inputs, they know the outputs, but how the things are being processed, like they don't know every layers. Like it has like own way, all the neural networks and stuff, all the programmings and stuff. Nobody knows what exactly happens, and that's little bit scary kind of thing too.
Also, in developing countries, people are still using a lot of manual labor because they cannot put the upfront cost in the agriculture, right? We
Yeah.
do have a lot of few tractors or compounders, but still, even in the rural part, we don't see them pretty often. So the upfront cost, the people in rural part, they will still not be able to put the upfront cost for the AI or robotics for maybe on next 50 or 100 years also.
Yeah, I think that's where the government should intervene.
Hmm.
That's where the government policies, even in the developed countries, they should support the farmers. If they doesn't support the farmers upfront, it will be unlikely that they will adapt to these things. So firstly, the government intervention will play the major role, for integrating these things in the agriculture, even in the developed countries. So let's talk about the underdeveloped or the developing country. There's a big gap to fill out there, because I don't think in the current state in the developing countries like Nepal, or the even in the India we call them the developed countries, but the certain small farmers they're unlikely to change their traditional farming practices.
I feel like even in 2050, AI in those countries, use of AI in agriculture, especially in those countries, is going nowhere more. Like the people are gonna use it like that much. They may start to get to know about it, but using it to like maximize the farm efficiency and stuff, I doubt it.
I believe only few people will have access to advanced technologies, AI or robotics back home, even by 2050. There might be very few people, right?
Yeah, let's
But
talk about the positive things of the AI here. Like even in these developed countries, there will be some of the major positives of integrating the AI and robotics in the agriculture. Like we need to support the scale of the food production at least by the 70% by 2050. I think only this can be done when we integrate the AI and robotics in the field. That will only support the food production without, because the with the increase in the urbanization, the amount of the land that's available for the cultivation is gonna be gradually decreased. So in the small land we need to increase the production. That's where the AI and robotics things comes.
Yeah, definitely. Like the vertical farming that's been going on right now, it's definitely gonna boom by then. Like, and with the use of AI in those vertical farms, the production gonna be like more. Like most of the needs, like the food produce, they may come directly from the city instead of some farms from far away from the city.
I think in developing countries, how people will be able to use AI right now, because they don't have access to the technologies, robotics, they can still use different AI softwares to analyze the weather, their soil condition. They can just ask like, hey, what plant can I plant in my field right now? If it is going to rain heavier, what should I do? If I see this kind of pests, what is the remedies? I think for this kind of information they can use it, but all the automation process is still it's gonna take a lot of time.
Yeah, what I think is like by 2040, the current rate of the AI and robotics development in the developed countries, that would be in the underdeveloping country right now, and there will be the lots of advancement in the developed countries. In the futures, like we'll see the most amount of the farmers being like they rely on the AI and robotic things, because there will be the problem of the like labor shortage in the going in the future, and there will be the maybe the population that are rely on the agriculture will likely to be diminished in the even in the future. So their only tool to rely will be AI and robotics, so they can scale up their production in their limited field and scale up it.
Yeah, things gonna change, like as you said, like because those two contrasting scenarios, like right now we can see like different companies over here, even like the John Deere, they have like automated tractors and stuff. So if we have that systems right now powered by AI, just imagine like 2050 they're gonna go way too ahead. But the countries where like things are still difficult to reach out, they're not gonna
We'll probably start seeing the automatic tractors,
automation,
something like that, right? Yeah. So let's talk a little about AI in animal farming as well. So we did talk a lot about plants, right? So I think like the same way AI is working on plant farming, I think it's going to be pretty much similar in animal farming as well. What do you guys think? I think we can use AI to monitor the animal behaviors, their feeding patterns, right? Maybe also using early disease detection and stuff, and that can help in saving production also.
Do you think like the farms, like the farm who are like growing animals, raising animals, are they using AI right now? Like,
I don't think so. We probably have like 20-25% of the farms that are starting to try it out, but a lot of people are still because of the upfront cost, they are still not supporting, or they are not adapting to AI in their farms. But probably I think by 2050 the farmers who can adopt or integrate AI in their agriculture, they will probably replace the farmers who cannot by then.
I think the thermal cameras will come into play in the animal things, because I think mostly the thermal cameras they are being used for to identify the animals behavior or the animals pattern in the field, since they are likely to have the increasing temperature than the rest of the environments, I have heard about the fire and moss thing research going on, because they detect it with the thermal imagery, we can detect whether it has the higher temperature, it's likely to be more fire and moss, and we can use the application of the insecticide or the pesticides over there, and which is which will help us in improving the production in the near future, and the effect it can provide in it may affect the fails, we can reduce that in the early stages. Since you are from the food department, what do you think the AI and robotic things will impact in the food processing things?
I think now there is already research going on in food production or food safety as well. So in food processing, they are using AI to detect early microbial contamination in food. So if we are able to detect that, I think it will save a lot of food that is going in waste. So in US, we have almost 40-50% of the food that is going in waste during production. So that we will be able to save, I think. Also, with the help of AI, I think the companies will be able to evaluate the pricing, the demand for the market and stuff. So it will help with their production too. And apart from that, not just in food, but I think AI can be used in machineries, and then it can be used to detect if any machine is going to fail soon. So it can help in reducing the downtime in production because of any machine failure as well. So there are a lot of research going on. Like I read one couple of weeks ago, they are trying to test apples to see, with the help of AI, they are trying to detect apples that has been contaminated with microorganisms. So if you wait to see for the signs of spoilage, it is probably going to take like 4 days, 5 days, or a week. But with the help of AI, it can be rapidly detected. So these things can be helped in food processing as well.
So, on the concluding note, I think the nature and the technology they should come together to feed this increasing population in the coming generation.
Yeah, like we said, like by 2050, there's going to be almost 10 billion people.
Yeah.
So I think in the developed countries, there will be a lot of automation in the farms, in the food processing, food production, or even in animal farms as well. So I think the farmers with AI will replace farmers without AI, and I don't think if there is AI, we'll be able to feed almost 10 billion people in the world by 2050.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Like in 2050, we may be like the farmers. We're just gonna have some app and have every notification on the phone. Like you need to put the water, or you need to plant the seed at that time, or use some pesticide or something like
They
that.
just get notifications on their
Notification and
phone.
stuff.
Yeah, and they can do it automatically. They don't need to go in the field
Yeah,
themselves.
Exactly.
That would be
they can just
craziest thing,
control
They
everything
can
with their phone.
and they can work remotely as well from the home. They can spray the chemical. Well, they can harvest the things. Well, that will be the crazy thing in the future.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
the farmers will be more like tech managers and not just farmers by 2050.
Yeah, farmers will shift into the managers.
Listening to our podcast, we'd like to thank Akriti for helping us with the camera, Dr. Wiggins for this assignment. It really helped us explore a new field in podcasting as well. Any last words from you guys?
We're
too?
gonna come up with the next episode.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's like different experience, and it's a little bit cool, while we can talk about lots of things. I don't know what we intended to talk, but the talk was really fruitful, I guess. So, yeah, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Behind the scenes.
Future, what do you think, Sudeep?
भन न, राम्रै छ त।
एकैचोटि पछाडिको पार्टमा गइयो के
जाम फ्लोमै गयो सब